Welcome back to In the Chute. This is where no matter what question we're answering, Lisa's going to be right. Kaylin, what do you got?
It is school season again, mid-August. Mom's about to go back to work. She's drinking out of the wrong cup. That's fine.
Hey, it
Um,
was clean in the cupboard.
when you go back after a whole long summer off, because we know you haven't been doing anything all summer long, what do you have to do to prep for school as a unretired teacher?
Huh. All the usual things, I
Get the
guess.
microscopes all worked and
Yeah,
took the Jiffy Lube and
yeah. They lubed and cleaned and realigned, and so I'll get to get those out and get them set up. And um, I don't know. Oh, I've got new books, so I got to figure out everything about them. Got to try and do that before school actually starts, though. And guess what?
What?
All the teacher stuff is online.
is that
Oh,
good?
I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't think that's a good idea.
for
Because
somebody
then I have
who's
to find stuff and where did it
oh,
go? And
for somebody who struggles to turn on a computer, I don't understand why that would be at all helpful.
it's not.
I know why.
So what is it?
Oh, I've said
What is
too much.
I mean, it's not uncommon for the school marms to be married to a local rancher or farmer. So what is it? What does your summer look like? Your summer off, because again, you clearly don't do anything. So what's your summer off composed of? And then how do you transition from that into the academic year in the fall time?
Well, the good news is we have a pug. So as a result, we don't need an alarm clock. We're up at 5:30,
Okay.
regardless of the time of year, because it's time for him to eat. So the transition back to a working schedule is not significantly different from our summer schedule. The only morning difference will be we'll have to have coffee a little quicker than what we
How
do
much
now.
quicker can I make it for you?
No, 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 no. I mean, we can't linger over
Oh,
the cup of coffee.
I mean, because I
We
get that stuff out to
oh
you and I
that
on one
that's
knee.
right. He's got to have it ready for me when I
Yes.
come out. Yeah. Probably shower more often. That's a good thing, right?
That'd be
Yeah.
a really good thing.
Because I mean, we've been working on the patio for the fire pit and stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm tired. I'm not even
This
showering
isn't even
because
ranch stuff. This is just getting
we're
stuff around the house,
we're gonna
yard.
put dirty clothes on again anyway and just go do it first thing
Yeah.
in the morning. So
What do you do
so
for the classwork then? Because you said you have to review new texts. You have some of your stuff has gotten should I say rejuvenated and
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
taken care of. And then do you have any new thing other than the textbook? Do you have any new things for class? Because you're in a poorer
Um,
part of the state, so it's not like you get a bunch of really fancy stuff every year. But
right. I've got a few new materials they need to be put away, but
uh-huh.
our school principal superintendent wrote a grant for a new heating system, and they're putting that in right now. So I can't get into the school till the 7th or 8th of August anyway, because they're trying to put it all together. Um, so lucky for me, I've done it before, so it's not a big deal not getting in there a little early. And I think most of the stuff is in my room, kind of where it needs to be anyway. It's in the cupboards. And so the big things, just, planning, figuring out what we're going to do the first few days, which is kind of the same thing every year, but getting that set up. And then setting up my computer for the school year. Because again, lucky me, the technologically challenged, my plans, like my lesson plans, are all digital on a website. So I've got to re-enter like days off and all that in the calendar. I don't remember how to do that. Got to go back and remember how to learn to put grades in the computer program for grades. Yeah, I don't remember how to do that. I think I remember the password though. So I got
I
that going
doubt
for
it.
me.
I doubt it too. There's no way she. No.
Okay,
We'll see.
so this is your second year. Dad, can you please, after this episode, can you please get her another cup? Because I can't continue to watch this. The other question is, so you've done 1 year at this school already.
Yep.
What's the difference now having that as your experience? What's the difference between being at this school versus the school before, as in like class size and your different classes that you teach? How much of a difference is it between the two?
A lot of things are the same, but different. Much smaller school. The probably a third of the upstairs of the school I'm in currently is equal to the size of my last classroom. And I have classes ranging from 4 to 10, 12 students now. And grade levels are like 4 to 6 is kind of an average per grade level here.
Mhm.
At the previous school, grade levels were usually 55 to 65 in size. So you'd have like 3 freshman classes, 3 sophomore classes. I used to teach freshmen, juniors, and seniors. Now I teach 7 through 12. And so that's a huge difference. Discipline wise, you don't have discipline issues here like I did.
Interesting.
Yeah. And and really I was lucky at my previous school. Kids knew who I was, knew how I was, and I didn't have a lot of discipline issues, but you'd get the occasional, and usually it's those freshman boys, because freshman boys are freshman boys. And you'd have to teach them the way of the world, and that they weren't quite as cute as they always thought they were. And so that would take a quarter sometimes to get them kind of geared up to your way of thinking. And here I didn't experience that. So even junior high, my junior high group, they didn't have quite the shenanigans that I had before. And I think it's a numbers issue, honestly. And they all know each other so well that in a lot of the classes, there's one mother hen, and she's like, okay, you need to stop that now. And so, I mean, it's kind of ingrained into the system already. And it's nice. I like it. It's quiet, lots of things going on. But even though there's a lot going on at the school I'm at currently, it's just not quite as busy as the last one was.
Okay.
However, the kids, so like when BPA is gone,
What's BPA?
Business Professionals of America, when they are gone on one of their competitions, which is a few times a year, I lost the entire freshman class for the day because they were all in BPA.
Yeah.
My classes now, I only teach the first 4, whereas before I taught through 7th hour.
Yeah, all day.
And
Why is that?
because I'm retired.
Well, don't they want the core classes
Well,
taught
and they
when
want the
kids are
core
fresh?
classes when kids are fresh and in the morning, which is good.
That's fair.
In a bigger school, you can't get them all like that. So anyway, when BPA is gone, I lost the entire freshman class and half my sophomore class. If there's an activity going on, like the boys went to state football, the girls basketball team went into divisionals, and if they left and they took the band with them, that included junior high through high school. And so one day the band was leaving like right before the last hour I taught, and everybody left. And I think we had from 5 through 12, we might have had about 10 kids left because everybody's involved,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
a small town.
Small town. And that's the getting used to, because you want to schedule. And I'd tell them, hey, you got to let me know so I can schedule around it, but you got to tell me when you're going to be gone so that I don't get surprised.
Now, Dad, having the extra stress of having to go in the house and dote upon Mother throughout the summertime and make sure that she's got enough cool air and the pug is getting his fans with the palm leaves. What other big changes happen when Mom goes to school and
he
is
likes
no longer...
milk bone too.
Oh, milk bone.
Honestly, I tend to get out of the house earlier.
Oh,
Because we
Does
do
mom gone
linger over
early?
coffee.
We
a
do.
little
We'll sit and just enjoy coffee, and it's kind of nice.
Wasting daylight.
So we're, like this morning, we were what, 8:15 or 7:15, we were out of the house.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
A quarter
okay.
after 7?
Yeah.
A whole 3 hours of daylight has burned at that point.
I know. Well,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I know. We're kind of slacking at it. But, so when she's gone, then you usually leave it like,
I leave about
7
7,
o'clock.
7:10.
and that's about, so then I just go ahead and
So-
head out with her.
But
And-
then he went and got a job, so then,
But then she's home by noon.
12:30.
Yeah, 12:30 every
Ish.
day, which is nice because most of the time I was having lunch ready for her. But now, okay, well, I guess that's gonna stop this year. Except for the days I go to my job, then she'll have
You'll have to have
lunch
lunch for
ready.
me
I
when,
know.
Yeah.
We're gonna work that out. Oh, we're gonna have to work that out somehow. I might just take lunch a little later. I don't know.
Hmm.
So, yeah, no, it's nice in some ways because I can get some things done that are kind of crappy work, but when she's home and it's cool out, like right now, it's so hot outside that I gotta go do some things, but it's gonna be trying to do it in the shop where it's halfway in the shade, even though it's hot in there. It's not in the direct sunlight. So, when she is able to come home, then we do things together. Or I use a hand. So it's kind of nice. Or she
Okay.
uses
I'm the brawn.
or yeah. I'm certainly not the brains of this outfit, so we've proven that time and again. So it's just different. I mean, we just adjust our schedule a little bit.
Okay. Mom, one last question. How much longer are you going to keep being unretired as a teacher?
I don't know.
She likes it.
I was going to say,
She
I know
ran
you like
away.
this new schedule of half of a day. You're like, okay, I can get on board with this. So,
Yeah, because you get tired, but I'm not as tired as I used to be. And
and you're still doing something, like you're not just sitting around the house.
yeah, your brain's not vegging out, which is
Yeah.
good. And I like being with the kids and teaching. I mean, I like that. And I'm helping them out of a really bad bind. I mean, finding teachers in small counties like this is so hard.
Yeah.
The Rygate School is currently looking for several teachers and a couple teachers' aides. In Lavina, they're still looking for 2 elementary teachers, and they've gotten no applicants, and they've been open since April. And so chances are really good there, we're gonna have to adjust. And just me being there is a huge relief for the staff that is there full time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's kind of it's a good thing that way too. And people don't understand this has been coming for about 15 years, because when I graduated from college, I couldn't hardly get an interview anywhere as a science teacher because all the science positions were filled with typically older men who had been a science teacher in either junior high or high school for the last 20 years. And they were keeping their jobs for another 10 or 15. And so when I was in education about 10, 12 years, you started to see those guys retiring a little at a time. Well, then it took about 10 years for most of them to retire out. And now, and that's not just science. I mean, that's just in my world. And now they're finding out, oh, dang, we've been exporting all of our teachers out of state because we don't pay well in Montana, in a small school, especially can't. And we're in trouble. What are we going to do? And, people who are in education have been saying this for a long time, but nobody really cares, and nobody wants to put money into the education system in the way it needs to be. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that could be reorganized and redone, but it's a big undertaking.
Yeah. Well, with that, we'll take that conversation and slowly put it out to pasture.